everyone. I got the war paint on today because I just did a podcast and I was like, well, I'm about to stream, so I might as well wear it. So I've been wearing war paint for the last 3 hours. So anyway, what's up? What's up today? So I guess between last week and this week, I found out when the next season of TFT is going to be. It's going to start in September, which is actually sooner than I had anticipated. I had sort of planned on having several months to basically, I guess, focus on content and streaming. But fortunately, in my mind, there's not going to be too much downtime before a competition starts. So my focus has more been on reflecting on how the deficiencies in my practice, like the way I train, and figuring out a system going forward that's going to be a lot more productive. And I guess we can talk about that. So one of my friends, Bryce, Esports Law, what's up, man? I had a good talk with him that I think was really illuminating on some of the things that I haven't been doing that I can be doing. In addition to talking with, I have like a business coach who I work with, who I've been working with since the start of this. And in addition to just my own reflection on like my weaknesses in my play and like where I need to improve. So anyway, these are things I haven't been doing that I think I need to be doing. One, I'm not spending enough time just watching players who are better than me and picking up what they do. And I haven't been watching, when I do watch them, I haven't been watching in a focused fashion. It's sort of been more just like passively watching a full game of their play as opposed to, hey, this person is good at Rebels, I want to learn Rebels, so let me watch them, right? And watch their VODs exclusively. Or, hey, this person is really, really good at, doing a roll down at 4-1 and picking up all the stuff they need rather than just tunneling on a specific comp. Let me watch this person. So that's one thing that I'm gonna make a habit. That's watching people with purpose. And in fact, every day having sort of a goal for my practice, right? So for example, today the goal might be don't go below 70 HP before 4-1 if I'm having a lot of problems early game. And then both in my own play and when I watch people, I'll be looking for people who are good at consistently staying high HP and trying to make sure that I'm playing in such a manner that will be conducive to being higher HP, whether that means buying strong early game units where I normally wouldn't buy or what have you. And I think that should add a little bit of focus to my practice because right now it's just kind of just slam a bunch of games, get tilted, go to sleep frustrated, do the same thing the next day. And that's not efficient practice, right? This is the difference between play and training, and I've been doing the former more than the latter. So that's one dimension. Another dimension that Bryce pointed out is just researching what the top people in each region are playing. Just do a quick look on LOL chess, open up their profiles and look at, okay, this person is climbing super rapidly, playing a comp that no one else is playing. Maybe I should look into that. And commensurate with that, actually practicing comps outside of my comfort zone. I've definitely fallen into routines, and I think that's actually something that's been a common theme in my gaming history. I find an archetype of play or strategy, and I just stick with it. Like, actually, when you look at League of Legends, I played Hecarim well over 90% of my games. Starting in maybe like 2011, it was like well over 90% of my games. And that just doesn't work when you're trying to be a high-level competitor, particularly in a game like TFT, where sometimes the items and the units you give are much more conducive to comp A than comp B, and even though you're more comfortable with comp B, comp A is the correct comp to run. So that's something I need to work on. The two things that have been holding me back from that, if I just sort of am honest with myself, are A, it makes me, even though I know it's investing in long-term growth, and will help me get what I'm trying to do, my ultimate goal faster. Every time I do it, the undisciplined part of me is like, well, I'm not climbing right now because I'm practicing this comp and I'm just like losing LP while I learn it. So that doesn't feel good, but it's not a good reason not to do it. And B, the solution to that is just to play on a different account, right? Play on my Smurf account. So I'm not losing LP while I'm trying to learn something. But I just hate playing on my Smurf because for the same exact reason, it doesn't feel like making progress. But it might not feel like making progress, but it is making progress, right? Sometimes you need to focus on learning rather than advancing using the only tool in your toolkit and pick up some new tools. So I haven't been picking up new tools consistently, and it's left me in a position where if I don't get a good start for one of the 2 to 3 comps I feel proficient at, I end up in trouble. So that's another thing to focus on. And then finally, one of the bigger revelations, especially toward the end of the set, was how valuable coaching is. So what I'm going to be doing is having a coach, Goobums, and you might have heard of him, and I've had some videos of our coaching sessions on my channel, do coaching for me multiple times a week, every week. So I think that'll be really helpful, A, because he's a really sharp guy and good player, but B, it will help by creating another observer of my play who can notice trends, right? Because the thing is, what I was doing is reviewing my own play, like watching my own replays and writing down notes, and even those not as consistent as I should. But the thing is, when you do those things, you don't know what you don't know, right? So you might be like, oh, I should have positioned, or I should have, rolled at this point rather than this point. But if you don't even know that, for example, you should slam a Thief's Glove if you get at stage 2-1 rather than holding out for Infinity Edge and Last Whisper, you're not going to catch that just by reviewing, and you need another person to help review. And everyone can benefit from coaches. And even if you're the absolute best player, and I'm not, but even if I were, having a coach would still be helpful, because it's not about whether the person is necessarily better than you, although that's ideal. It's about whether they can come from a different standpoint and identify things that you might tend to miss because of your own style. So yeah, those are some of the observations of my own play. There was some other stuff in there that I want to incorporate, but in the broad strokes, basically work on my Smurf account and working on new comps and investing the time there, even if it doesn't feel like climbing, like it doesn't feel like I'm playing on ladder. It's a really good way to invest now so that in the future I can climb on ladder or advance through tournaments. Be consistent about getting coaching for sure, and be consistent about watching other people with intent, right? Don't just passively watch it like it's entertainment, watch them with intent. So do everything intentionally, I think, is the big takeaway, because I'm playing more than I ever have and I'm getting worse results, right? So something needs to change. And I'm really glad that I've given myself enough time to span multiple seasons of TFT. So, the first season was inefficient in certain ways, but it was valuable, and it taught me what I need to do. Now I just need to do it, right? And having the discipline, not have the awareness around what I need to do, but it's about having the discipline and just being consistent. Because for sure, like, when I'm tilted and frustrated, my immediate response is just to queue up another game. Just jump into another game. Maybe I'll make a quick mental note of like one thing that I could have done better, but it's kind of a lazy analysis, and I need to be much more thorough and consistent. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be focusing on. I got some pretty exciting news that's being announced today, so I'll share that on my Discord and Twitter once it's public. So that's all I can leave you with. What a tease at the end of the vlog too, but whatever. But yeah, it still astounds me that people watch this week to week, so I appreciate you guys continuing to watch, continuing to cheer. We're gonna make set 4 our set. I really think I'm a few adjustments away from being where I wanna be, but I need to make the adjustments, and that's, action is all there is, right? So let's make sure we're taking action and we're doing it really intentionally and thoughtfully. All right, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you.